Been speaking to the great and the good of music and the community since the lockdown began. And now I've got a gentleman, a young gentleman who's made major inroads into music. He has toured for a period of time with his own band across Ireland, performing in the UK also. He's released an album and also an absolute swathe of singles, which have all done extremely well for him and has got a lot of notice and a lot of media play with all of the tracks. I'm delighted to say a big hello to Shane Owens. Shane, how are you?
Not too bad, Jerry. How are you keeping?
Not too bad at all. Doing plenty in lockdown and trying to stay safe.
Try to keep safe, try to stay sane. Luckily I've got the guitar another side of me across the room here, so any chance I'm picking that up and making noise. I'm probably driving the family mad here, but trying to do a little bit anyway.
Well done. Fair play. You must, one of the things, I'll say this to so many people, one of the things that you must miss is actually being out on the road and meeting people.
100%, yeah. Like every weekend, like it's like a normal for me. Either Saturday or Sunday would be going out on the road, doing music, and it's something you look forward to. Every week you're meeting different people and sometimes the same people as well. But it's lovely to meet these ones out on the road, and you make friends. You really make friends for life.
Indeed,
with the music and that. It's one of the many benefits. But that's definitely one up there with one of my favourites anyway.
Indeed. Shane, you've the songs that you recorded were sort of in many ways a total departure from the usual country songs that have been recorded. I mean, songs like Walking on the Waves, Never Tire of the Road, and all of these songs, I mean, were very, very successful.
Yeah, thank God. I think Walking on the Waves was the first one I brought out back in 2015, so it's 5 years ago.
Yes.
And it's just, time has flew by. Like, I'm 23 now, so I was 17, I think, when I first recorded that.
Wow.
And it's ever since that it's been mad. It's like really a dream come true. Like I used to watch Hot Country and all these channels and listen to radio shows such as yourself, and be listening to the likes of Mick Flavin, Daniel O'Donnell, Mike Denver, the whole lot, and then sometimes you can just find yourself me popping up, which is just surreal, really.
It was a fantastic achievement. I mean, for the first single like that you recorded, at a young age like that of Walking on the Waves, for it to be such an incredible success.
Yeah, it was. When I brought it out, I didn't really think. Like, I knew it was a good song. Like, you know yourself. Like, when you hear a good song, like, you think, oh, that's a really good song. And I said it to my manager at the time. What do you think of the song? He liked it, so he went down and recorded it. And when we released it, like, my phone was just buzzing. Like, there was people ringing me up and saying, oh, how much they liked the song. And then we put it up on YouTube as well. And like, I don't really know nothing about YouTube, like people with the views and stuff. And it was getting 1,000 views and every day. And then like sometimes you turn on the radio, like in Cavan, and you listen, and the song would just pop up, and you think, wow, it was mental. But no, thank God it did do all right for me.
It certainly did. I mean, for a debut single to actually do so well, I mean, I know you followed them up with other songs which equally did extremely well. From varying, from the one very interesting thing that I noticed that you recorded was the long-legged woman dressed in black, and you also recorded Paddy's Green Shamrock Shore, both a long way in style from each other. Yeah, like I suppose they're the complete opposite of each other, really, when you think about it. But I think the long-legged woman sort of came about was so our manager at the time, Joe Finnegan, who probably you probably know well, and probably some of your listeners as well. He brought the song to me, and it was an old Mongo Jerry song. So I did hear I heard of Mongo Jerry, like I've heard some of the song. And to be fair, I hadn't heard of this one, so I played it, and I played it to my mum and dad, and they said, "Oh, we used to dance to this song all the time back in the day." Yes.
So I picked up a guitar, I learned it, I tried to put my own little twist in it, and we went into the studio, and I thought it came out really well, and then we brought it out, and it really went down well with the sort of dancing scene.
Yes.
That's going on over in Ireland with the drivers and the whole, hucklebuck sort of dance thing. It was mad, and even to this day, like, it's still being played, which is great. And again, with Paddy's Green Shamrock Shore, how that sort of came about was, it was one of my mum's favourite songs. And I suppose when I was doing the album at the time, I was thinking, maybe I'll put one on this and dedicate to her. So I done that, and I recorded it, and it's probably Paddy's Green Shamrock Shore is probably one of my favourites on the album. I know all of them are my favourite, but if I had to narrow it down, that's probably one of the top ones for me.
Indeed. I can tell you were saying about YouTube with Walking on the Waves. I can tell you at the moment that it's had 1.2 million views, which is just astounding.
It's crazy, yeah. It's crazy to think, because when you see all like the people in the industry and like they bring out songs on YouTube as well, and like it's mad to think I'm up there as well, and it's 1.2 million. Like, I can't even count to 100 never mind a million.
Yes,
with that amount of views, you'd be counting 1 to 1.2 million for quite some time. So it's I just have to thank everyone for taking the time out and listening, and I do hope they enjoy it.
Yes, yeah, definitely. It's absolutely. Have you always? I mean, I know that your dad has always been into music all his life, but have you always been into music? Were you sort of reared on it?
Yeah, it was so reared on it. I was drilled into me, but I still, like, you'll find me today, like I'll be listening to Daniel O'Donnell or some of the American stuff and the Irish stuff, like even in the car today, like I'm big fans of like Derek Ryan and Nathan and Mike Denver. I'm always listening to them. But so I suppose back in the day, my mum used to say to me that I could sing before I could talk.
Right.
And I was in the back of the car, and they would probably have some Mick Flavin CD or Merle Haggard or Waylon Jennings sort of CD in the car, and I'd be mummering in the back, trying my best to sing along to it. So that's how it started from there. And then when I was about 4 or 5, we used to go to Irish pubs all the time, and I knew one song at a time, which was called Country Roads. I'm sure that you know, and probably
yes.
The whole world probably knows Country Roads. And so anyway, I knew it, and there was this band we were playing in Slough, in a place called the Huntscombe. And we used to go there every Sunday, and the band I was playing was Barclay Kine, who was, great for put me down for the years. And
indeed,
I went up. I was only about 2 feet tall. I stood up on the little bar stool, and I sang Country Roads. That's probably how it all started, really.
Right, that's absolutely superb. Well done, well done on it all. Tell me, how are you amusing yourself in the lockdown? Picking up the guitar and sort of doing stuff, or sort of keeping you active.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm doing. Like I never try to put my guitar away in like a suitcase. I have it like sitting in the stand here in the living room, and sometimes I'll just sit down, watch television, or and I pick it up and I'll start playing away. I'm always looking at new songs, and if I hear something on a song, or if I like a song, I'll try and learn it. And that's what I've always done, I suppose. And now that I've got a little bit more time, at the weekends with not playing, I guess that's what I'm trying to do now, and hopefully I'm not drowning out the neighbours next door. There's no complaints that's coming so far, so
I doubt it. It's top class free entertainment. Shane, listen, can I have a little word with your dad Mervin, who I know plays with you at the moment?
How are you doing, Jerry? Yeah.
Mervin, lovely to chat with you, and great to talk to Shane. You've always been involved in music, Mervin.
I have, yeah. I've played years ago in a little pub at home in Cavan.
Right.
Pubs in Cavan and that, and then I went to Dublin, and I was in Dublin for a while, and played a little bit sang with another group in Dublin for a while, and then I sort of went came over here and went off it for probably about 10 years, and as Shane said there earlier on, we were going to the Huntercombe every Sunday.
Right.
Sunday afternoon, and Barty Kine was there, was always there. So anyway, he asked me up to sing, and I ended up singing, I think, 4 or 5 songs the same day.
Right.
And then his singer got sick or something. Yeah, his singer got sick, and he was doing a show out in Watford, and then he was doing the London Irish the London Festival, and I was singing one there. So that's where it started with me. That's about 20 years ago.
Right. Superb stuff.
Yeah.
You've never, you'd never look back, but you've always sort of had it, kind of had it in you. You never forgot about it any place along the way.
I always loved country and western. I know I was always singing. I was always, Charlie Pride and Mick Flavin, another but a friend of mine now as well. Mick's a good friend of mine, and Mike Denver and all the Irish. Derek Ryan, the whole lot, they're all. I know them all very well. Well, probably through Shane, going along with Shane to some of these concerts, and then he was an RT a few times. So we're up in the RT studios and met them all up. Met Big Tom there, even. Big Tom came in late into the studio, and RT studio one day, and his wife, and there was no place for him to sit down in the green room, and myself and Mary got up and let Tom and the wife sit down there. So yeah, we've been around, and then we travel all of Ireland. We're from one end of Ireland to the other with Shane. I was driving him most of the time. I wasn't playing with him, but I was chauffeuring him around, and if I wasn't doing it, his mother was doing it. Right.
So you've been steeped in the whole thing, and as I was saying to Shane there, the whole thing has sort of come to an abrupt end with the coronavirus. But fingers crossed that we'll all come out at the other side of it safe and well, and we'll be back on the road again.
Please God, very 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 shortly now, in another few months. Please God, we're all out, and you'd miss it, like every as Shane said there earlier on there. Every Saturday night, or Friday night and Saturday night, we're into the van and away for London, or away for Luton, or Swindon, or Andover, or Southampton, or somewhere. We're away from somewhere every weekend.
Yes.
Doing the gigs, and yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Indeed. So
the same as yourself, Jerry.
Indeed.
We're doing something everywhere.
Indeed, it's sort of the weekends keep coming round, and you sort of wonder, why am I not any place? And it sort of seems weird. I'll have to say, after all these years, for me, it certainly seems weird.
It's weird, that's right. Yeah, not going out on a Saturday night. It's definitely weird for us. Yeah,
indeed. So, Mervin, listen, it's been great to catch up with you, and thanks indeed for joining me. Thanks indeed to Shane. And listen, we'll fingers crossed. I'll be back chatting to you and seeing you on stage as soon as it's safe to do so.
Well, please God, Jerry, and it's lovely to be talking to you and to all your listeners, and wish all your listeners, and hope to see some of them at some of the venues around London, and we'll hope to see you soon, and see all some of your listeners soon as well, Jerry. Thanks very much.
A real pleasure.
Good luck now, Jerry.
Fingers crossed that we'll see you out and about on the road and on stage very soon.
Oh yeah, please God, yeah. No, thank you Jerry for having us on. Hopefully it's going to be sooner rather than later. It looks to be hopefully on the mend. Touch wood. Please God, it's right around the corner.